Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, I want to talk about how to make any behavior addictive. Now, this is important because you probably already know what a big deal it is to have good habits in your life. One of the easiest ways to have good habits is to look at what makes behaviors addictive and then to try and incorporate some of those attributes into a behavior that you want to have as a regular part of your life. So really quick, this is going to be a 3-part video where I talk about first the attributes of addictive behaviors and how you can incorporate those into behaviors you want. The second part is some preliminary stuff you have to do to get ready to start a new habit or to undertake a new behavior. And then the third one is going to be the practical, how you put this into effect in your life on a day-to-day basis. So for the first part, the attributes of an addictive behavior, they really have usually at least 3 of these 6 main human desires that we all have. And these main desires are significance, certainty, variety, connection, growth, and then contribution is the last one. And as I mentioned, most behaviors that are addictive are gonna have at least 3 of these. The trick is to try to figure out how you can incorporate as many as possible into some new habit that you want to have or new behavior you want to habitually do. So really quick, just to review these so we're on the same page. Significance is basically anything that makes you feel important or makes you feel like you matter. Certainty is knowing what to expect and having comfort with something that you're doing and knowing that, I can be comfortable with the outcome. I know what's going to happen when I perform this behavior. Now, the next one is variety. This is the opposite of certainty, or at least it appears to be, because variety has to do with uncertainty, variety, surprise. But I think a more important or more accurate way to look at this is to use the word novelty. You want to have something that gives variable rewards or a positive outcome, or at least a perceived positive outcome in a variable way. So an example, you can actually have certainty and variety in the same activity. And an example would be, gambling. Think about a roulette table is a great visual depiction of this concept. You know what a game of roulette is going to be like, especially if you play it regularly. You know what is going to happen as you walk up to the table, you interact with the people there, you make a bet, and you see the outcome of that bet, and you know that consistently it's an exciting outcome because the behavior itself has novelty built into it. Now, this is similar with drug addicts. They know what to expect when they take their drug of choice, but that novelty is built in that it gives them an experience outside of their normal waking state of consciousness. So you can see how some of the most addictive behaviors have these 2 seemingly unrelated attributes together. They both have variety and uncertainty, which I'm going to come back to because you'll see that that's really a key attribute of some of the most addicting behaviors is that dual attribute of variety and certainty. So very interesting. The next one is connection. This is when you feel connected to other people. This is simple. It's being part of a community or perceiving yourself as part of some type of related group. The next one's growth. You want to feel like you're growing, achieving things, and moving forward in your life. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And then the last one is going to be contribution. And this is especially important when you're helping people that are in need, people that really need your help, or you're making some sort of big contribution to their life. So again, that's significance, certainty, variety, connection, growth, and contribution. So you want to try to incorporate as many of these as possible. And I think if you think about it for a while, you will start to think of ways that you can do this. A common one when people are, doing, say you're training for a marathon, you join a group that's also training for a marathon, or you're trying to quit some behavior, you join a group of people and feel like a community so you have that sense of reward. This is just one example, but that's an easy way that you can feel more connected when you're trying to install a new behavior in your life. So another important thing is that the frequency of practice. This is a super important part because if you're focused on too many things, it's difficult to practice anything frequently when you have tons of different things you have to practice. So another big part of making any behavior addictive is to really be specific about focusing on the important behaviors you want to start with and not trying to focus on too many different behaviors at once or too many habits. You really want to focus in on just a core few so that you can practice them over and over, because frequency in developing a new habit or addiction is super important. It's a quote that reminds me of this by legendary wrestler Dan Gable. He says, if it's important, do it every day. And If you don't know who Dan Gable is, definitely look him up. Pretty amazing guy, but that's always stuck with me because this is so true. If you want to have an addictive behavior or behavior that you're doing every day or a new habit, you want to do it every day. Okay, so the next part, after you've incorporated as many of these 6 human needs as possible, or you figure out a way to do it, is before you even get started, you need to believe that you can accomplish this goal, and then you need to believe in the system or the strategies and tactics you're gonna use to accomplish this goal or to install this new behavior as a habit. So this is really difficult because if you don't believe in yourself that you can do something, how do you just go from not believing you can do it and having this deep, in your core belief to really believing it? And you have to go through this process of what I like to call functional brainwashing, the functional brainwashing process. And so what this is the first step in this process is to research the benefits of the new behavior or habit that you're trying to adopt. This is super important because it gives you that core why for why you want to make this change in your life or adopt this behavior or get addicted to this new habit. You understand why it's important in your life and you need that. So you need to research all the benefits. Go brainwash yourself. It's just like the same way that an advertiser would tell you about all the benefits of a product or service. You need to do that for yourself for this new behavior. You need to advertise to yourself all the benefits of this new behavior so that you really have this built up strong desire inside of you. The next part 2 of this functional brainwashing process is you need to research other people who are in your situation that were able to make this new behavior a habit or achieve this goal you're trying to achieve with this repeated behavior. You want to look at people that are in your same circumstance so that you can relate to them, and then you want to look at what strategies and tactics they used to install this new behavior or habit or achieve this goal that's going to require this new behavior or habit. And the reason you're doing this is that in addition to this strong desire, you also have a very strong belief in your ability to achieve this new behavior or habit or goal, and your belief that the strategies and tactics you've chosen to install this new habit or behavior are going to work for you. So you need to have a strong desire for this new habit as well as a strong belief in your ability to develop this new habit. So this is where most people fail because this is not a quick process. Trying to get yourself to truly believe, in your heart and the deepest part of your being that you can do something and that the strategy you're going to use will actually get you to this goal, that's not easy to do. So you can't rush this process. If you're not ready to start working towards something you're going to practice that needs to be repeated over and over, you can first start by just researching the benefits and the strategies other people have used to make this a habit or to get to that goal. You can't rush this process, and I can't stress enough, this is where most people fail. They rush it and they think, I don't have the desire, I don't have the belief, so why am I even gonna try? And they're kind of right. If you don't have the desire or belief, you can't focus on the habit or action first. You need to first focus on the habit of developing that belief, and usually this comes in the form of developing a solid plan and proving to yourself through repeated exposure to other people that you can do something. So this is a really important part. If you can really wrap your head around that, the fact that you need to habituate this research and development process where you're developing that desire and belief in yourself, then you can move to the next steps that I talked about in the intro to actually incorporating some of those human drives to make things more addictive. So in summary, the process you're gonna take, first, you need to identify what you wanna do and why you wanna do it. Super important. Second, you need to make sure that your goal or action is something that incorporates as many of those 6 human drives as possible, ideally at least 3 of the 6. Third, you need to research the benefits of other people who have successfully installed this new behavior or habit or achieved this goal so that you really have a true, strong internal desire for it, that it's not just a logical desire, you really feel this on an emotional level. The fourth one is gonna be you need to research other people who are in your circumstances that achieved this goal or installed this new habit or behavior so that you have this strong belief in addition to this strong desire. And then number 6, you need to continue your momentum when you start this behavior so that you get through that initial learning phase, you get through that initial habit development phase, and you're able to receive some of the benefits and get that positive feedback cycle. If this behavior has to do with learning a new skill or getting better at something, after you get through that initial learning phase, you're gonna start to get that feedback from seeing that you're getting better and better at what you're doing. You're gonna start to, feel that viscerally like, hey, this practice that I've undertaken is actually making me better. I'm seeing results. So that's really the 5th step, is to make sure that you continue the practice and push that momentum forward so that initial positive feedback that you get continues over and over, and you enter that positive feedback loop. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you got something out of it. I know it's been really key for me when I'm trying to do something new, incorporating as many of these things as possible. Really, the part about developing a strong belief and desire in yourself through research and development on what process you're going to use has been really instrumental for me, because it really does develop that seemingly esoteric sort of concept of belief and desire in yourself. It's not something concrete that you can grasp, but it's actually the most important part of this process. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like button if you did enjoy it. Make sure to comment below letting me know, what you thought either way. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so that you're notified anytime that I come out with a new video. And as always, thank you for watching.